launches a three. Puts it in the issue.
A minute and a half to play. That's a bomb!
Oh!
Ridiculous!
The time I wrote the first version of this script, it was going to be a short video with enough effort to push out in time before the playoffs started. Then doing research on the topic, I got inspired. There has never been something so consistent as this James Harden-led Rockets team was at having an all-time collapse in the playoffs year
Ginobili's on him. He's got O'Shea. What a play by Ginobili!
after year
Ariza for three. Cannot find the range. Is there a point, Reggie, where you stop shooting?
after year.
Curry with Tucker right with him. Curry launches a three. Puts it in again! Steph Curry from downtown! Curry surrounded, finds Draymond Green. Green to the basket, kicks it out of Iguodala. Thompson for three. Bang!
The greatest and only three-peat we have seen since Kobe and Shaq's Lakers. Nothing will ever come close to this generational run, so I think we should recap it. All the way back at the very start. October 27, 2012. Fresh off of an NBA Finals appearance with a young core of KD, Westbrook, and Harden, the Thunder had some tough choices to make. Do they extend Harden or their defensive anchor in Serge Ibaka? A tough decision was to be made, so let's see how that played out.
I don't know what to tell you, James, but we just can't have you anymore. I need the money, man. I'm sorry, but the league don't have enough money to pay your greedy ass, fine self.
Fine, I'll go cook somewhere else, man.
Cause cook your ass away to Houston.
So Harden would be dealt to the Houston Rockets for some draft picks, Kevin Martin, and Jeremy Lamb. Now, I don't know if there was a better deal or not, but nonetheless, James Harden was a Houston Rocket now. He would become the franchise cornerstone and would develop into an MVP finalist by 2015, arguably being robbed by Steph Curry. Around 2016, you could notice a pattern in Harden's performances in the playoffs, but it wasn't obvious yet that he does decline once the postseason starts. After getting outplayed in 2015 by the other MVP candidate in Steph Curry, then losing to the Warriors again, the Rockets hired Mike D'Antoni for the coaching job, and now the window for contending fully open for this team. With that window comes expectations, meaning that chokes become obvious and grander. 2017 would mark the start of this historic three-peat we are going to witness. Now, let's begin. In 2017, something happened in the NBA world. Something rather dark happened.
The news again coming in moments ago, Kevin Durant heading to the Golden State Warriors. How are you viewing this move from Durant?
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar. Plain and simple. That's just how I look at it.
But that doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but whatever. Harden, under D'Antoni's system, would average 29 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds, but lose the MVP once again to Russell Westbrook, who averaged a triple-double for the first time since the Big O did it and dragging the Thunder to the 6th seed in the Western Conference. But that doesn't matter, as Harden would blow by the Thunder in the first round in only 5 games, and then he would play the San Antonio Spurs. The series was tied 2-2 against the favored Spurs, and Game 5 would end up in overtime. Down 3, with time winding down, trying to force double overtime, ball in James's hand, this happens.
And picked up, and that was a good call because the position helps Anderson. Here's Harden. Ginobili's on him. He's got O'Shea. What a play by Ginobili! Knocked it away. San Antonio wins in overtime.
Now this is not a choke. Even though Harden did play bad this game despite putting up a 33-point triple-double, he was pretty inefficient and almost had a quadruple-double with 9 turnovers. Not great, but not bad enough to call a choke job. What happened just 2 days later is what I would deem a choke job.
God damn it, Harden. Whoever drafted you is really fucking sad, huh? You fucking suck, you bitch.
Down the three.
And Mike, that's such a difference.
Here's Harden. Steps back. And throws first free throws with his team down by 4. Stolen by Murray. Murray finds Green cutting, and Green with the boy of the Rockets need that one. Trevor Ariza with his second field goals in 11 minutes. And pass stolen by Mills. And lays it up.
They already to shoot without a dribble.
Murray throws it away.
And they're starting Ryan Anderson this half instead of Eric Gordon.
Martin wanted a foul there. He fell with Simmons. Very difficult. That's down by 25. Sums it up for Rockets. An awful night for Rockets fans.
Coach, is his teams are hard to play against. And that's
What makes this possibly the worst performance I have seen from an MVP level player in an elimination game is that he had no known injuries. Kawhi was out for Game 6 with an injury and may not even play in Game 7, and then James fouled out. James Harden, in the worst game of his career, put up 10 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds while going 2 for 11 from the field and played 36 minutes. He would have 6 turnovers to match his 6 fouls as the Spurs would blow them out in their home court. Unbelievable. A truly impressive choke job. But is it more impressive than the next choke? We shall find out, but let's jump to 2018 now.
Alrighty there, Mr. Harden. First off, I got you that fucking diaper because you shit the bed last year. Then I got you a star point guard. Say hello. Don't be shit this year.
Try not to, sir.
Mr. Sir to you.
In 2018, the Houston Rockets made a move to gain Chris Paul and would dominate the West, getting the first seed over the Durant-led Warriors even. Harden would go ballistic and win the MVP this year after coming up short so many times.
And presenting this year's MVP, James Harden. Thank you, man. I appreciate this.
But who cares, because they would need to beat the dreaded Warriors dynasty in a 7-game series to win it all and obtain a championship. They would meet in the Western Conference Finals, where after Game 3 they looked completely outclassed. Thankfully for them, Iguodala would be out for the rest of the series, and that was an important blow to Golden State. After close games 4 and 5, they take a 3-2 lead over the Warriors. Sadly, Chris Paul was out injuring his hamstring in Game 5 late, but that's fine as Houston would take a double-digit lead over Golden State at halftime in Game 6. And then, he showed up.
Terrific first half, 22 points in all. There's Durant, got the step on Capello and lost it. Able to get it to Curry over to Thompson for 3. Thompson for 3. Yes. Turned shot by Thompson. The save. Handled by Green. Fast break to the Warriors. Green to Thompson. Yes.
So now you lose that game pretty badly, but that's okay because maybe Chris will play. Okay, no, he's out too. Feeling a little nervous right now, but what? Up 11 at halftime. And LeBron is out there by himself dispatching the Celtics? This is practically a guaranteed ring in just 24 minutes to play? Is this it? Is this the year we make the finals? The Cavs just won, and is LeBron all by his lonesome? Did we just win the championship? Oh, you foolish, foolish Houston fan. If only you knew what was coming. What the? Okay, so I don't know who that guy was, but we're up 13, and oh, only up 9. Now 8. Now 5. 3. Okay, they're tied now. Okay, now they're winning. Oh, for the love of God, please stop shooting threes. Someone take a mid-range shot. For the love of God, where are you, Chris Paul? PJ, for the love of God, don't shoot. Oh, it went in. Finally. Okay, so what are we looking at? How are we down 10? So, the Rockets would miss 27 straight threes and choke away the game and the series. Up 13 at one point, to down 13 just a quarter later. Golden State would go on to sweep the Cavs and win their second straight title. The Rockets also won their second straight title for Choker of the Year award. Maybe next year, right? 2019's got to be better, right? Right? Oh no.
I'm editing this right now, and how can a team choke three years this badly, okay? 3, led by what some people thought was better than Dwayne Wade, a top 4, bona fide top 5 shooting guard of all time. Are we even sure he's better? Okay, maybe he's better than Iverson. But, like, I get it's the Warriors, but this next one is just, the last 2 were pretty inexcusable. Well, maybe the Spurs one. But this is just... how?
Okay. 2019. Does the regular season even really matter? Well, it kinda does. Harden was phenomenal because CP3 was either injured or playing kinda bad, so a lot of locker room drama and beef surrounded him and Harden. They looked like a fragile team, but they all had one thing in common, and that was the hatred for Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. The rest of the regular season was pretty underwhelming for Houston following their historic season the year prior. But James's 36 points per game and a 30-point streak did make for some interesting MVP conversations. But that's another Harden beef for another day. They would meet the Warriors in the second round this time, but they're also having their own issues. DeMarcus Cousins, who was their big acquisition in free agency, he was injured and could not play, and Durant was seemingly out and not fully with this team. This team was not deep at all and mainly relied on the pure star power and Durant scoring more than the other team. It was fine in the first round against the Los Angeles Clippers, but the Rockets would come back from a 2-0 series deficit and even a 14-point Golden State lead in Game 5. And then it happened.
Back to the isolation one-on-one ball. It's Durant with Shumpert defending, and Kevin Durant laces one through. And he's hurt. He is holding on to his right Achilles as Harden works into Iguodala, who just picked up the Golden State foul.
As soon as he made that shot, he started limping.
Look at this.
Kevin Durant would go down with what was seemingly an Achilles tear at the time, with all momentum on Houston's side coming back from down 14, and nobody but Durant really looking that good for the Warriors, and Steph Curry looking like a ghost the past 3 games. Houston is in prime position to take a commanding 3-2 lead and finish off the depleted Warriors in Game 6 at home. The roles have been reversed, and Houston was practically gifted a finals appearance. After all the torment and despair from the past few runs, even demanding that Game 7 was looked into by the league and was rigged, all the flopping and fouls drawn were being paid off, it seems. Golden State, the wall blocking the league for the past 5 years, was gone. But while Houston was walking to that finals appearance, the seemingly demolished wall, it rebuilt.
Paul got the assist on that last one. There's a three.
Was the first one to follow him back after his injury history. The best person to give him advice and check it out. The good news, as far as we know, it is not the Achilles, right calf spring.
20 points, 15 in this half. Let's not forget, he was scoreless in that first quarter.
Here comes Curry finding Green.
They're going to force Draymond Green to be a...
Curry defended by Capella with a three. Good! What a shot by Curry, who now has 23. And rebound is long. Game is over. The Warriors go up 3 games to 2. Curry with 25. Thompson with 27.
Curry would wake up and drop 20 points in the second half, sinking the Rockets. But nonetheless, he's just preventing the inevitable like the Rockets did last year when Chris Paul went out in Game 5. Everyone expects Houston to win Game 6 at least and make the Western Conference Finals. Chris Paul even kicked Curry off the court when he was trying to get a shoot-around in, and it looked to be working as Curry would not score in the first half of Game 6. But wait. Why is it so close, though? Why is it not a blowout? Curry literally has not scored. What is going on? Maybe it's nerves? Whatever. Hey, we're up 9 to start the fourth, though, and I think we're finally pulling away. Maybe I was wrong, and bad things don't need to happen in 3. Oh, you foolish, foolish fan. You know it's destiny. Don't you know that he was just toying with you guys the entire game?
Come on.
Sorry, James. You're done.
The team here for Game 6. He's back in the Bay Area getting treatment.
Back at least proud of the way they won Game 5 in Oakland. And they pull out Game 6. Curry gets to the basket. Nobody there. A wide open layup. Back to a 2-point lead. Curry to the basket. Nice soft bounce for Steph Curry. Anxious moments for the Rockets fans. So many on their feet right now. Curry launches a three-pointer. Puts it in. Steph Curry from downtown. And the lead is 5 for Golden State. Curry on the drive. Gets past layup. Back shot is good. Steph Curry coming alive for the second straight game of the fourth quarter. Curry with Tucker right with him. Curry launches a three. Puts it in again. Steph Curry from downtown.
It happened again. Curry took over again, scoring 33 in the second half while Houston choked their last real shot at a championship. Harden scored 35 and could have played better as he had costly turnover and seemed passive near the end. Chris Paul played good too, and he seemed to be the only one on Houston playing with urgency. The game itself deserves a separate video to break down exactly what happened, but Houston would complete the three-peat of choking. This was the greatest of them all. So let's talk about this whole three-peat run as a whole. Golden State had a grip on the league and Houston as well. The reason we will never see a 3-year choking stretch as great as this one is because it perfectly displays the 3 types of choking. The first year is the first type and is the easiest to spot and will never be forgotten in history. This is the one-man choke job. Harden playing 36 minutes and scoring 10 points, shooting 2 for 11 with 6 turnovers and fouling out in his home court is embarrassing and is the first type of choking you think of in sports. The next year is the second type, a standard team choke job. You win as a team, you lose as a team, and then you choke as a team. Trevor Nothriza scoring 0 points and Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker going 4 for 17 from 3, and the star James Harden going 2 for 13 from 3 is your standard team choke job. Everyone underperformed. But they weren't favored in that series after Chris Paul went down. It's a choke job since they were up double digits in both closeout games. This leads us to the third and final kind in 2019. A team choke job while being heavy favorites. Beating a depleted Warriors team should have been a given, but they choked 2 straight games again. They were heavy favorites after KD went down and choked, as you can see by all these ESPN analysts. They choked. They choked in all possible ways in just 3 years. A star player choke, a team choke, and a team choke with expectations. This is just generational, and we will never see a choking three-peat quite like the James Harden-led Rockets from 2017 to 2019.